Triumph makes some amazing motorcycles. Bikes such as the Scrambler in Bonneville, or my personal favorite, the Thruxton. And of course you guys cannot forget about the Speed Triple. But today we're not going to look at any of those bikes. In fact, we are going to talk about another bike. A bike that was Triumph's flagship supersport, the Daytona 675, and why Triumph decided to discontinue it. In the year 2000, Triumph released the very first real sport bike they ever made, the TT600, which originally had issues with the fuel injection system. Later it was revised and improved in the 2001 model year, but ultimately it was gone before it ever really had a chance, as it was later replaced in 2002 by the Daytona 600, which was a 599cc inline-4 designed to compete with the Japanese 600cc class. Triumph produced the Daytona 600 for 3 years when in 2005 they replaced the Daytona 600 with the Daytona 650. The Daytona 650 was a 1-year model run, although some 2004 models apparently existed, which featured a 646cc inline-4 engine. The 650 looked very similar to the 600 though, but this was all short-lived as Triumph had bigger plans for the Daytona, and it was the 675. The 675 was released in 2006, and the main attraction here was the engine. The engine increased to 675 cc's, but instead of having a 4-cylinder, it featured a very unique 3-cylinder design. The results were a lightweight supersport bike with actual bottom-end power for the street. Throughout the years, Triumph has consistently updating their beloved Daytona, such as in 2009 they lightened up the bike and the front-end design changed. Then in 2010 it got a revised instrument cluster, followed by in 2011 we saw the release of the Daytona 675R model, which added on Brembo brakes, Öhlins suspension, and a quick shifter along with some carbon fiber bits. Then in 2013 Triumph improved the engine and managed to squeak out an extra 4 horsepower, bringing up this bike to 128 brake horsepower, and along with that making it lighter as well as the curb weight dropped 2 pounds. And the looks were updated as well with the relocation of the exhaust system from the undertail to the side mount. And in 2014 ABS was made standard and a slipper clutch was added. So as you can see, the Daytona 675 changed over the years, but one thing remained consistent, the 675 inline-3 engine, which we'll get back to in just a minute. But first I want to talk about why Triumph decided to kill off their beloved Daytona 675. Because as of 2018 it is no longer being sold. Sure, you can sometimes find leftover 2017 models on showroom floors, but those are very limited units and will eventually be gone if they are not already. And if you go on Triumph's website, there is no Daytona on their lineup, at least not here in the USA page. So what killed off the Daytona? Well, it could be a number of things, such as poor sales, a decreasing 600cc class in popularity, Euro emissions. Your guess is as good as mine. But I think the main thing here that killed Daytona was the sales. The Daytona is a fantastic motorcycle, however it has its problems. No, not the problems you were probably thinking. The bike was perfectly fine. The problems were with the price tag. The 675R model had an MSRP of over $14,000. Yeah, $14,000 for a 675. Or you could have gotten a S1000RR for $2,500 more, or a 2017 Yamaha R1S for $1,000 more than the 675R. Now of course you didn't have to get the R model, you could just get the 675, but that still cost about $12,000, which is actually pretty reasonable. But at the same time you could get a 2017 Kawasaki ZX6R, which was $11,699, which is pretty much a better bike in every single way. The only people buying Triumphs are people who just had to have that 675 inline-3 engine, which is a substantial amount of people as it did sell very well during its 11-year tenure until recently. However, it just wasn't enough to keep it afloat because at the end of the day, you can get a faster bike and save $400 with the Ninja 636. Or you could spend $1,000 over the 675R model and get one of the best 1000cc superbikes known to man, the R1. So that's pretty much it. Triumph stopped updating their 675 and let it go for 3 years, and then let it die. But is that the end of the Daytona 675? I would say yes. I believe it is the end for the Triumph Daytona 675. However, it is not the end for the Daytona, as Triumph's new 765cc engine could find its way into the new Daytona. Now, to answer the original question, why did Triumph discontinue the 675? Well, they did it because of cost, as I said before, and because the 600cc class is unfortunately dying. But this is not bad news, as I believe this Daytona 765 could actually be the beginning of the resurgence of the middleweight supersports. I expect that if the Daytona 765 actually becomes a reality, that it will compete with the GSX-R 750 and the Ducati 848, and eventually hopefully a CBR600RR, R7, and ZX-7R will also be released. It's a long shot, I know, but I wouldn't be completely surprised. I think Triumph sees the writing on the wall and are planning to take action before any of the Japanese manufacturers get a chance to hit first. Well, except for the Suzuki, which has been around for a very long time. But maybe some competition will spark some updates for the untouched GSX-R 750. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I make motorcycle related content like this every single week, and also I'll be keeping you up to date on any new information I have on the Daytona. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.